What's up? You are checking out the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, the Hot Commodity, joined by my very own Hot Commodity. As we jump in our time machine and go back to the year 2000 and our Attitude Year Season 3 series recap, we are covering WWF Royal Rumble 2000 live on January 23rd in Madison Square Garden in New York City, New York, the world's famous arena. Um, but like we do with all of our Attitude Years pay-per-views, before we cover the show, we're going to cover everything that happened in pop culture in the month of January, the year 2000. So let's start off by talking the popular entertainment events. I'm going to ask you first. On January 1st, the Broadcast Film Critics Association named the number one movie of the 90s. What do you think that movie was?
Titanic.
Hmm.
I don't know.
One more guess.
Um,
It's one that you probably wouldn't maybe expect. It's a famous movie that a lot of people talk about and like,
The
but
Godfather.
Godfather didn't come out in the 90s.
Uh,
Came out in the 70s.
I don't know.
Schindler's List
Okay.
as the number one movie. Um, on January 4th, Ted Turner and Jane Fonda decided to separate. So Ted Turner is now single and still owning WCW.
WCW.
On January 9th, the People's Choice Awards took place. The best movie of 1999. What do you think?
I don't know. I don't know what movies were made in '99
Oh,
specifically.
because you're old.
Yeah.
The Sixth Sense.
Oh, okay.
That one. Best movie.
That's a
Best
good
comedy
movie.
movie was Big Daddy, which is my
That's
favorite.
good. We were just talking about
Yeah.
that.
And
Liv Morgan.
ER and Friends won for the television series drama ER
ER and
comedy
Friends,
Friends. Yep. On January 10th, AOL buys Time Warner for $165 billion.
which was also part of the WCW.
Mhm. Yeah. On January 23rd, the same night as the Royal Rumble pay-per-view, the Golden Globes was live on air. What do you think took home Best Drama Series?
Um, right?
Yeah, you are correct. What do you think, Dina?
I don't know.
The Sopranos.
Oh, okay.
And they pretty much cleared house. James Gandolfini won for Best Actor. Best Supporting Actress went to Nancy Marchand, I think.
There's Jackie.
No, Nancy is his mother.
Oh,
And
okay.
Best Actress went to Edie Falco, Nurse Jack.
The
Um,
mother is really good in that.
yeah. In terms of best comedy series, Sex and the City won,
That's a
and
good one. I love Sex and the City.
for best actor, Michael J. Fox won for Spin City.
And I definitely suggest the spin-off of Sex and the City is really good.
Haven't watched it. I like the first movie though. On January 24th, Fox announced that Beverly Hills 90210 and Party of Five will end after the seasons that they're
I love
filming.
Party of Five.
Um,
90210 was good, but I never got into it.
Never watched.
Party of Five is really good. You should watch it.
January 28th, Catherine Zeta Jones announced that she's pregnant with Michael Douglas's child. They just got engaged on January 1st. That's probably why they got engaged.
Shotgun Wedding.
Shotgun wedding.
Shotgun Saturday Night.
Those were the top entertainment from January 2000. Let's cover the top 10 songs from the month. Number 10 is My Love Is Your Love by Whitney Houston. 9, I Need to Know by Mark Anthony. Number 8 is That's the Way It Is by Celine Dion. 7 is Hot Boys, Missy Elliott.
Little Wayne. Oh no. Little Wayne was in the group The Hot Boys.
Yeah. Number 6, Blue Dabba Dee by Eiffel 6. 5, Bring It All to Me by Black featuring NSYNC. Number 4, Back at One by Brian McKnight. 3 is Smooth by Santana featuring Rob Thomas. The number 2 song of January 2000 is What a Girl Wants by Christina Aguilera. What do you think is number 1?
Cher. I don't know.
You like this group?
Um, Matchbox 20.
I Knew I Loved You, Savage Garden. The number one song
Okay.
in
Yeah, that
January
was a big
2000.
wedding song.
And the number, let's talk about the 10 movies of January 2000. Number 10 is Girl Interrupted. We just watched that one. And Brittany Murphy, right?
Yeah.
She eats the chicken.
Yeah.
Number 9, Bicentennial Man with Robin Williams. I never saw that one. Number 8, The Hurricane. I never saw that. 7, Toy Story 2. Of course, I love that movie. 6 is Any Given Sunday. Number 5, Galaxy Quest. Number 4 is Next Friday, which is probably very funny. I like the first Friday. Number 3, The Talented Mr. Ripley. The number 2 movie of January 2000, The Green Mile. And coming in at number 1, Stuart Little.
What's Any Given Sunday?
I think it's a like relationship movie. Let me see. Um, Any Given Sunday. I'm gonna type it up in my IMDb machine here. What is that? Any Given Sunday. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. A behind the scenes look at the life and death struggles of a modern day gladiators and those who lead them. It's like a football game. Football.
Okay.
Yeah, it's with Al Pacino and Dennis Quaid, Cameron Diaz. Fun stuff.
You
Never
would see
saw.
him on TV Any Given Sunday.
Uh, definitely. I don't know what that phrase means.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Maybe I should look up what that phrase means. Let's see, because I'm kind of curious now that you are talking about this here. What does any given Sunday mean? We find out a lot of kind of things on the Uncensored Pro Wrestling podcast. Any given Sunday meaning. Uh, it means that any team can win or lose on any given Sunday, regardless of the other team's record. So it's basically like,
Wow.
yeah, it doesn't exactly. It doesn't mean like if you are like the Undertaker and you have a WrestleMania streak, it doesn't mean that Brock Lesnar can't show up at WrestleMania 30 and beat you.
Right.
You know, you have no, yeah. But I'm happy Stuart Little's number one movie and the number one song is I Knew I Loved You. So good times in 2000. Things were easier.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the Royal Rumble 2000 pay-per-view. We kick off the night with Kurt Angle coming out. He's going to be taking on mystery opponent. He has never lost a one-on-one singles match. He's never been pinned. He's never tapped out. He has lost in tag team matches, but he's never been the one to take the pinfall. The surprise mystery opponent, you guessed it, it was Taz. The fans knew it was him. At the time, I was listening to a podcast. WWE was trying really hard to say it wasn't Taz. They said it was a different person, that it wasn't him, but you kind of knew it was going to be him. So they have a really good match. Taz lands a super belly to belly
But how
suplex.
did people know? Was that his logo?
It wasn't his logo, but like you, like a lot of the smart wrestlers right in the dirt sheets, they knew he had just left ECW, and they kind of knew they were going to be in New York. That's where he's from,
Oh,
so they kind of had an idea of like. But Angle hits a clothesline and German suplex bridge. Taz hits a reverse German, which the way Angle landed, it looked like his head like was snapped. Um, he Taz applies a T-bone suplex and then a Taz mission. Kurt Angle passes out, and Kurt Angle needs to be stretchered and has oxygen put on him as he is out. So Taz defeats Kurt Angle, winning his record here. Taz said that this wasn't his favorite way of debuting. He would have liked something different, but for what they got, it was okay. What did you think of Taz being the opponent and him defeating Kurt Angle's record?
It was cool. I mean, I didn't really know who Taz was. So, they said he was from ECW. So, he looked, it made him look hardcore.
Okay. So, but what did you think of it now? When you saw it, you were kind of like, you care about Taz, but do you care anymore now?
Yeah, yeah. Now it seems a little more like, memorable. But yeah, at the time, Oops, I didn't really.
Here.
It wasn't a big deal. Yeah.
Next up, we have the tag team tables match. The Hardy Boys defeating the Dudley Boys. This is a really good match here. Um, all four men went through tables at some point in this match, but the end comes when Jeff Hardy pushes Bubba Ray Dudley off the top rope, or I'm sorry, off the
The turnbuckle.
no, they were on like a balcony and he pushed them off it and Bubba fell through the tables.
Oh, right, right, right.
And then Matt Hardy landed a flying leg drop. Or I'm sorry, Jeff Swantons of Dudley's drew the table off the balcony.
I think I saw on a YouTube video that there was a mattress on
Oh, really? I bet, because that would hurt really bad. But these guys are doing all kinds of crazy stuff. The match was made just a week before the show. But what did you think of these two teams and the Hardys beating the Dudleys in a tables match here?
it. I think that the Hardys kind of needed to win because the Dudleys looked a lot more dominant, and the Hardys were really good though, so they should have won. And it kind of started their whole rivalry with the tables, and chairs, and everything. So it was cool.
Okay. I agree. It was a good match. Good. This is the first ever tag team tables match to ever take place too. So very innovative for the time. Speaking of innovative, we have the Miss Royal Rumble 2000 swimsuit contest. We've got Ivory, BB, Jacqueline, Terry, Luna Vachon, and the women's champion, the Cat, all competing in this competition. Um, Luna's the only lady who decides not to take off her clothes. The Cat takes off her
They were
clothes.
all beautiful, but Mae Young took it home.
She did. The Cat ends up revealing her uh, bubble wrap bikini, which is just
It was solid.
you could pop them.
The King popped them.
And then, as Ann mentioned, Mae Young does show up, and she takes off her little.
And damn it, Mark Henry, he's always
Yeah.
gotta get in front of her.
She takes off her top,
I
and
want to see those puppies.
we get a big X censored sign, and Mark Henry covers her up. I think Mae Young kind of got the win here. What do you think?
Yeah. Do you think the crowd really got to see her boobs?
No. You could see over it that she still had her top on. They were just making it like shit. Thank God.
Yeah.
They've
But
been
Jacqueline and they all had hot bodies, so they did. Even Luna.
Luna looked good.
Luna's toned.
So, and it's schizophrenic. Next up, we have the WWE Intercontinental Championship on the line in a triple threat match. Parker Holly taking on the co-Intercontinental Champions Chyna and Chris Jericho. During this match, Chyna hits Holly with the steel chair and then applies the walls of Jericho to Holly. But then Jericho lands a bulldog and a lion saw, pinning Chyna. And Chris Jericho is now the undisputed WWF Intercontinental Champion. Parker Holly really shouldn't have been in this match. It kind of should have just been Jericho and Chyna to finish it. But I get why they added an extra element. What did you think though of Jericho being the one to be the undisputed champion?
I wish it was Chyna.
Yeah.
I wish it was because, like, Jericho's gonna have his whole career, and like this was kind of like them showing that Chyna could hang with the guys, and I just feel like it would have been cool for her to take this one last one. She wasn't going to keep it for long, so it would have been cool if they could have given her that. But
and then have her lose to Jericho.
Yeah,
I feel like the
anybody
the fans were getting tired of her too at this point in terms of her fighting the men and stuff.
You think?
Yeah, there's also a moment where Jericho forgot a spot of what to do to Chyna, and Holly had to yell at him, "Bulldog!" Because with Chyna, you had to literally, from what they say, go over every single thing with her. So the thing is that and a lot Jim Ross was making comments saying that he felt that yeah, Chyna was good, but women like Ivory and Jacqueline were more trained wrestlers. Like Chyna was good in the ring, she was, but other people view her as that she made a lot of mistakes. she was more of an attraction. I thought China was great. I don't see a lot of the mistakes that people say. A lot of the wrestling people who work in the business are not really behind China and think that she was not as great in the ring as she thought she was. Um, but I mean, she's a ninth wonder of the world. She's an attraction. I think it's kind of like a gender thing too, where it's like, the
But
guys
it
don't want to
wasn't,
lose.
they were throwing her with the men. Like, they could have been putting her against women.
Well,
She hasn't had a women's match
but
yet,
she
has she?
didn't want. When they wanted her to win the women's title, she didn't want it. She wanted to beat the men. Like she thought she deserved more money than Stone Cold Steve Austin. Like we just saw in that weird fact, they were going to give her the WWE title. Like it's like, come on. There comes a point where it's like, do you really think China would beat Stone Cold Steve Austin?
Right.
And I think that was the problem, was that yeah, she's big and tough. Like, yeah, she would destroy the females, but do you really think she'd beat fucking The Rock?
No, of
No.
course.
And her head, she thought, hey, I'm China, I could do it. And unfortunately, no. But good match. I love China. You'll see her more with the guys this year too. Next up, we have the tag team champions, the New Age Outlaws, defending against the Acolytes. This match was only like 2 minutes. X-Pac runs out and hits Bradshaw with a spinning heel kick, and then Mr. Ass lands a famouser. New Age Outlaws retain. What did you think of the quickness? There's a lot of matches, and they were all fast on the card.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't that great of a match. I thought the Outlaws were going to lose, but I was wrong. Um, yeah, not much to say about it. It was just kind of normal stuff. X-Pac comes in the ring. He does that a lot.
Yeah, DX trying to stay on top. I
And
didn't
they
care
did.
for this match. It could have been better, but Jim Ross said they overbooked the card and that they had to cut stuff short to get everything else. We've come up to our WWF Championship street fight, the game, the WWF Champion Triple H defending against Cactus Jack. And this was a bloody, hardcore match. We see Cactus Jack toss Triple H into bricks on the stage. Cactus hits backdrops Triple H on a wooden pallet, and when he lands, a piece of wood punctures his skin and goes into his leg. Uh, Cactus Jack slams Triple H's head into the steel steps, um, and then Triple H hits Cactus Jack's legs with a 2x4 wrapped in barbed wire. Um, Cactus Jack drop toe holds Triple H into the steps and then bites Triple H's ear and his face. Triple H breaks a chair over Cactus Jack's back, and then The Rock comes out and hits Triple H in the head with a steel chair. A cop comes and unlocks the handcuffs that Cactus Jack was handcuffed with. Cactus pile drives Triple H onto a table, and then Triple H backdrops Cactus Jack onto a pile of thumbtacks. Triple H lands a pedigree for a 2, and then Triple H pedigrees Cactus Jack on top of the tacks. Triple H retains the title. After Triple H gets stretchered out, but Cactus Jack grabs Triple H and hits Triple H in the face with a 2x4. What did you think of this match?
I thought this was the match of the night.
I do too.
I thought it was really good. It was the first time in a while we saw Mick Foley like really give it his all and be, like it looked like he could actually beat Triple H. Um, but he did not succeed. But it was a great match.
Yeah.
It was definitely the best match.
Best night was bloody. They say that this is Jim Ross thinks this is Triple H's best match of his career, which I don't know if it's the best match, but it was very important. Jim set up for both of these guys. Triple H is from New Hampshire. Mick Foley is from New York, Long Island. And Mick Foley would go to Madison Square Garden many times to see his favorite wrestlers. So for both of these guys, they wanted to put on a really good show for Madison Square Garden.
And they did. Like that match hurt. It did.
It hurt me. Just watching
the thumbtacks. It was a classic hardcore.
match. We then see Linda McMahon at WWF New York. She says things are going to be handled the McMahon way going forward. What does she mean? We'll have to find out. Next up, we have the Royal Rumble 2000 match. Coming in at number one is D'Lo Brown. Number two is Grandmaster Sexay. Test ends up having the longest time in this match, going like 30 minutes. Rikishi gets the most eliminations in the match. That's a hard one. I don't know. The final four are The Rock, The Big Show, X-Pac, and Kane. X-Pac's able to eliminate Kane. Rock hits a people, and then X-Pac gets eliminated. Final two are Rock and Big Show. Rock hits a people's elbow. Big Show lands a choke slam. Big Show goes to toss The Rock over the top rope, but Big Show falls over. The Rock gets the win after Big Show attacks The Rock and tosses Rock over the top.
But the Rock's feet hit the ground.
They did. They hit the ground before the Big Show got tossed out. So we'll have to see.
We don't really know if both of them
did. Yeah, but yeah, something did touch though. So that is, I'm glad you picked up on that little bit of controversy there. But The Rock ultimately gets the win. What did you think of this Royal Rumble match compared to other ones?
It was okay, but it was a little boring. There was like no big surprises. There was a couple like old timers, but like it was like Bob Backlund, like you know.
Yeah, Bob Backlund.
It was nothing special.
Yeah, a basic bland Royal Rumble match. They wanted The Rock to go over, which is what they had happen. But overall, what did you think of this show as the first pay-per-view of the new millennium? Are you excited for what's to come?
I am.
What do you think is going to happen next?
I think the McMahons are gonna. I think Vince or Shane will be back soon. And I could probably see DX falling apart soon. I don't know. Those are my predictions.
Well, the next pay-per-view is No Way Out, live in Hartford, Connecticut, February 2000. That's a good card. You could check out the rest of the Attitude Era season 1s and 2 live in the archive. Make sure you check us out on Spotify, Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, wherever you get your podcasts. Also, check us out on YouTube. Subscribe, like, hit that notification bell to stay notified when we drop new content. Aside from Attitude Years, we have Raw, SmackDown, NXT coverage, along with Bad Blood coming your way October. I think that's the 5th. We also have Wrestle Dream, AEW coming out soon. So until next time, stay safe and stay uncensored.